Welcome back. We're here to do the twin flame update. Let me get this banner off the screen and we can get tucked into it. How are we? I should probably turn the chat on because at the moment all you can see is a partial cupboard. It's a bit of a shadow. I can't see the chat. Welcome in, guys. How are we doing? How are we doing? Okay, FYI, look out for the 11th. Incoming storm. We have Pluto reaching the 29-degree point. Yes, we'll keep that. Just as I thought. Bloody camera. Keep grounded. I'm telling you, technology has been giving me the absolute shits. I cannot explain it enough. I have had the computer, the telephone, upgrades, Facebook Messenger and Instagram merged. It's like it has been diabolical. I cannot wait for all of this energy relating to Mercury. Let's just say it to really piss off because it's really bothering us. So Mars isn't a Mercury energy. We had the rumbles, obviously, of Uranus and Taurus, which was affecting the intranet. Every YouTuber you go to, they're like, come to our channel via our image, because it's all affecting the internet. And then you've got, so we had Mars and Gemini from August. We had Uranus and Taurus go direct. And again, 2 weeks after, you've seen what's happened in Turkey. Uranus and Taurus is like a box of chocolates. And even this month, we've had squares. Last month, it had been like that for 2 years. It should ease up this year, but nevertheless, we're going to have those things. What else was? And then we had Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Now, why is that important before we get into your twin flame update? Is because it will affect all of us very, very profusely. And, a lot of astrologers were talking about the fact that February is lovely. And I was like, no. Why? Because I have seen astrologically, psychically, spiritually through my awakening. Is that Mars has been sitting there in the grueling energy of Gemini since August last year. And what you can find is your mind is overstimulated. You're agitated. You're tired. You're having irritability with sleep. People are taking things personal because it's Mars. Crosswise in communication, shitty technology. So, we've had all of that. Turkey also, in interpreting the chart, I did go into the members and have a chat. I pulled the chart and I looked at it. And again, astrologers can really see where things are going to pop off. During eclipses, depending on where the ecliptic is going. Separately, you can look at it from the country astrology. They do have a lot of Libra placements, but really where their Pluto and their Uranus was some of the reasons why that played out, which I'll go into later in a different video. But, heart goes out to them. Separately, we all are very, very frustrated. Now, Mars will be leaving Gemini in March. And we all can sigh of relief, but then it goes into Cancer, and that's not so good either because it is deemed as in its detriment in the house of Cancer. March, we also have Saturn moving into Pisces, which, I'm like, oh, okay. Very interesting time for astrologers, tarot readers, psychic mediums. It's going to be required, but at the same time, you're going to be very selective about the readers you go to. You're going to, it's a little bit like, I call it the Dana, Scully and Mulder. Is his name Smolder? I'm thinking back to the X-Files where, we've got both cognitive frequencies going on, which is very twin flame path because in one element you're going, I'm getting all these psychic downloads and ascension. And then on the opposite side, you're really 3D. You're like, yeah, but in realistic terms, X does not equal Z. You get what I'm saying? So both exist, guys, and I think we need to reach this acceptance of it. So you're going to be questioning. You're going to have that questioning mind. You're going to go, I don't believe you. Fairing new beginnings because we're going from the 12th house to the 1st. And as I mentioned to Giggle, everyone's going to be irritable. So if you're really at your wits' ends with things and frustrated, there is a lot of karma we're wrapping up and it's going to look a little bit ugly. Why do I say that? Is because Pluto is moving on the 11th to the 29-degree point. And karmics be coming out. Karmic cycles be coming about to be addressed. And it isn't the full card in tarot. It's literally you're on the cliff and you're falling off. So wherever that is landing for you, which is very similar to what I mentioned to a couple of the members this morning, both why I use astrology is it tells you where the waves are coming from. It gives you like a transit energy that can come through. And it actually does help, especially from a separate point of view that I'm a psychic medium and I work with energy. So I can use both of them to kind of give you an overall service, to give you an update of how you can navigate this circumstance. You will not be able to be codependent at this point in time, and probably not until 2025. Why am I saying that? We could see a collective brat attack. And I don't mean that in a negative way or a judgmental way. I mean it because, I've been through a first and a seventh house already. B, moving from the 12th house to the first house at a collective level is going to mean, what are you going to do about your situation in your life? And it's very personal. And, usually we'd say, oh, wow, I have a choice. That's great, right? When you didn't realize you were part of a situation, or you didn't realize you're being left in the desert and you have to find what was that program here in Australia? I think they had it in America as well. He's sort of like got to make things out of nothing. I've forgotten his name now. It's very scientifically, calculated. It's like, okay, well, I've got this problem. Oh, these are the tools in front of me. I've got to make it and I need to solve a problem. It's like a mathematical equation. But you've got to find a way of addressing these things. And so suddenly you can feel that you are abandoned. You can go into victim consciousness. It could be a wound that's going to crop up for you. And at the moment, we're getting a slight PDF of it due to the fact that Jupiter's there. And Jupiter generally is deemed as a very, a great thing. It grows things, it expands things, but it also does the malefic, which is if, for instance, you're in a karmic relationship, we're having Pluto moving to the 29-degree point, so it's going to be very karmic indeed. Mars and Gemini, as if a masculine or a feminine's in a karmic relationship, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going down with this ship. Like, what the heck am I doing here? So again, it's going to break those patterns. So it's going to cause a lot of separations, a lot of conflict, and it's going to be in various areas depending where it's coming up in our own personal charts. Separately, Mars and Gemini can be a little bit like detached. And sometimes it's not for personal reasons. Yeah, MacGyver, that's it. So MacGyver, he's like, okay, we've got this problem. We need to work it out. We need to be MacGyver until 2025. So it's great because it does mean we're going to have revelations inside of our lives. Because we have Chiron and Aries, the wounded healer, which is very much like the hero's journey, but both twins do both. So you're going to be like, oh, I've got to deal with this. Houston, we've got a problem. And then on the opposite side, you're like, I don't feel equipped. Why? Because Aries and Chiron is in a location in your chart where you are ill-equipped. But they're putting you through assimilation so you can become your MacGyver, so you can liberate yourself and then realize, hey, I was more equipped than I thought. So Chiron has been in Aries for a while, giving us the PDF gradually. It's been driving us nuts. We're like gradually chipping away at it if we have avoided, which is possible. Because when we have trauma, what do? We're like, oh, I'll just sweep it under the carpet. Can't do it today. It's too heavy. If you keep doing that and you hadn't been working on it over the last few years, Jupiter's like screaming at you saying, we're coming for you, which sucks. It's like, now it's got really big and I have to deal. The good news is by going into that shadow, it's not going to define you again. And it means you will actually learn something about your capabilities. Universe, theoretically, as I've been putting the shorts up, doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Always get support if you feel you're falling. Another thing is, due to the fact that we are going to have Neptune and Pisces and Saturn joining it, mindset health is going to be critical. So you need to know your limit. Like I said, theoretically, in the twin flame path and collectively, we are only given what we can handle. And I beg to differ sometimes. Did I need support in my journey and could I have hit rock bottom several times? Yes, I actually did. several times. I was like, heck, I've really dug myself in here. I can say in my life through my awakening, I have had 3 nervous breakdowns. So know your limit and know when to ask for help. Don't be too proud to say, wow, let's really go and address this. Let's not leave this because it is now hindering X, Y, and Z. So I would say know your limit, because come March, especially if things are getting a bit rumbly now, I did say the first 2 weeks of February, we have the rumbles of Uranus and Taurus moving direct, which is Venus energy. It's how do we cope as divine feminines with instability? How do we address those hurdles of tension? Are we practicing self-care? Are we taking time to rest and recover, which has been very difficult? I definitely have found I went through 1 week, or I would say 3 days, where I physically couldn't go to bed past 1. Why? Because Mars transiting is intellect, right? It's overstimulation of the mind. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And then the mind can't calm. Another thing is through your ascension and your chakras, divine feminines, you may be using caffeine to stay awake or try to deal with things. If you go to pacifiers, what Uranus and Taurus does is frizzle your nerves. So I have been very mindful of adding extra fluid. So that tension point doesn't get to burnout stage, because it's almost like we're not adhering to what our body's saying. We're really tired, not getting that shutdown mode. And so then we're going to get very depressed. And that's with anybody, any person, point blank zero. Divine masculines, on the other hand, are feeling the pressure too. And that's because in astrology, Jupiter and Mars links to divine masculine. So intellectually having to do a lot, realizing in their daily routine, maybe having to change their diet, maybe having to take some time for themselves, maybe not being able to, because again, we're reaching the 29-degree point and it's coming to a karmic end. So sometimes we didn't know some things that we had to address. There could be a lot of paperwork involved. There could be subjects to do with children coming up. And I do very family, and I mentioned this on the energy report. So if you haven't seen the energy report, go back and have a look. I really break this down. And I talk about twin flames. I talk about psychic attacks. It's going to give you some reference to what we're moving into, and March energy is playing out already, especially Mars and Cancer. It's playing out already because subjects to do with children are coming up in the media, especially in Turkey. So again, Mars links to fire, passion, war, heat, cuts, things like that. So, and Cancer again, women, children, our homes, physical homes, So it's all there in the astrology, and I'm already seeing March playing out. Now, I already did have 2 cards fall out. One is faith, which to me, very much, we are going from an ending to a brand new beginning. And rebirths don't feel nice, but it's going to happen very quickly. We have the faith card. You need to increase your fluid. Number 1, I would highly, highly recommend. It is a good time in February to prepare your homes. That is cleaning up shop, getting your paperwork sorted, cleaning the bad energy out of the previous years. And it's funny because technically we're in the new year, but not really. We're moving into it with a new cycle with transits of planets. So March really is going to be the precipice of that change, and it's going to really have a signature point until about 2025. I would clear your homes. From a psychic medium point of view, put your crystals in your home to protect your home. You can do a crystal grid, you can do a smudging, you can do a gin removal, an energy remover, and tune out of anyone that is giving you the shits, because you're going to bring their frequency into your home, and you need to be protected so that you're not going to have the nightmares, the psychic attacks. Try and stay very present in the here and now, or they're going to come through. The other one is sacral chakra, moodiness. And we've got both chakras, the crowning energy between the 2 of you. All right. So home, family, your foundation, changes, lineage, the way we've been trained to look at things, that's all Pluto. We are ending a 20-year cycle, but it's not happening right away. We're karmically closing it out. So we do have our root cause of situations playing out in the joint connection. Palo Santo, yes, but the thing is, the further into your ascension you get, these tools won't work. And I can guarantee you the reason I'm being, so, matter of fact with this is where you guys are in your twin flame path right now, especially first wavers, your tools you used to use will stop working. Why? Is because you become the crystal, and when universe believes you're ready, you're going to be more susceptible to those energies. So you confront your fears and realize you are the crystal. So you will find, and I'm pre-warning you ahead of time, of these Pisces transits, because I went through that back in about 2017, 18, tools were not working for me anymore. Not smudge sticks, not Palo Santo, because you had to create a protection around your aura. You can do a grounding, earth hurts. You can do a aura upgrade. Go and Google a video for that. When I do upgrade the membership, if I do, I am moving it over to Mighty Network. I'll give everyone a heads up if that and when that's happening. One thing I will be able to do is do guided meditations and working on your chakras within there. I can't necessarily do it here due to money. I won't explain it. You just can't, okay? It's sensitive, so you just can't. But that is a possibility. But if you need coaching with that, you can come through to the website. So it won't work. You can give it a try now. It's better to be prepared, detox, flush, put your crystals in your house, smudge your home, do your aura upgrade, get grounded and rest a bit, because you will be feeling that energy, I would say, coming soon. Watch out for the 11th. It's very karmic. You'll probably feel it prior. Try to not go into any disputes right now. Mars, the person who initiates the dispute, usually does not fare so finely. So especially with Mars and Gemini at the moment, be aware of your surroundings. As divine feminines, protect yourself. Try to create an environment where you can go home, unwind, detox, and be, and ride this storm out, because it will be a bit of a storm. Let's get the cards. So sacral chakra, sexual energy. Very funny that has come up. One thing I was picking psychically was there's something really coming through in the collective, and it has come up in a pattern really to do with sexual energy, embarrassment and shame relating to the intimate act, okay? And how we can openly speak about these things in comfortableness, but again, it could be due to our conditioning. So that, it's almost like there can be shame associated to it. We may feel that we can't talk about it. They're taboo subjects. That's Pluto, guys. More than likely, the reason I can discuss it, A, is maybe because of the way I was raised. B, it may also be because my Venus house is Scorpio. So we can actually dive into those things with less shame later on in years. And we intuitively can pick up on those blockages. So I would really say, especially because Mars is in Gemini, sacral chakra, solar plexus, and base chakra is pretty chunky and blocked at the moment. So if you're finding you're getting aggressive, or that you feel, if you're aggressive and you're feeling very out of control and people are not respecting your bubble, it could be, I would say, an overactive energy. If it's getting aggressive and you're being overzealous and domineering towards people, that's both of them are overactive. Be cautious of eating yellow and orange food groups. If it's underactive, you're going to give your power away. You're going to be a doormat. You're going to feel very scared and frigid. Mars is playing up with you, but it's showing you a signature inside of your ascension. So keep an eye on it. If it is sluggish, always go and get yourself checked. Although I can say through my ascension, I have an appointment today to go and get my iron checked. It is 3 years to the date that I had my very first infusion. And already I'm seeing signs, very tired, very run down, hair falling out, discoloration in the iris, tummy issue, and it's a sure sign. So if there's something going on, always go and check it with a professional. Separately, you can go to diet, which is more the natural remedies, but not all natural remedies are going to work. But what I can say is if it's really sluggish, it could be that you need to add orange, red, and yellow food groups into your diet, and you can use crystal therapy. Don't meditate with all the chakras at once. Ever, ever, ever. Never do all 7 chakras in meditation. You will have a massive purge. You think about it. You're a spindle and it's your chakra system. And if you open all of them up, guaranteed every single chakra has a wound in them. And that, regardless of your ascension, we're always ascending. We're never there. Okay. So it is a life process. You get to a plateau stage where you're functional, but we're always ascending. Okay. So that's one tip that can help you at this point so that you can cope. But definitely there can be, I'll just say it, constipation, then going to the toilet, on and off your food. Make sure you check your use-by dates at the moment. Oh, God, the first card we got is the moon. Oh, I don't really know that. Yeah, pay attention to the transit skies. Like, what would I say? Know where the moon's transiting at the moment, okay? It's going to give you some help in how to navigate it, especially if you understand what each zodiac sign exhibits. But it'll be coming down to your emotions and how your emotions will fluctuate. So learn energy to do with the moon. I'll try and do some info videos towards it. And, you know, my guides were saying to me this morning, do the joint connection. Don't do side left or right. I can go into clarifiers with that. And I think it's because something jointly is happening. I do feel a lot of them are going to come into your dream state, but some of you are actually being healed by your ancestors, but you're not going to remember it, okay? So if you have found that you're going to a dream state, you're like, oh, I know I had a conversation with X, Y, and Z. I feel some conundrum that you're currently dealing with, either through your twins guides, yours, or other. It's like they're trying to help you work this out, but they're coming through the ethers for that. You know? Let's see this ruin cast. I'm also going to go to the nail technician today. I had 2 breaks today and I know a third one's coming. I have been considering cutting them off because I really can't be bothered. Although I do say I don't really like my fingernails, but, you know, probably because I've had them so long. Anywho. Okay, what is this ruin cast in relation to? Oh, the present. Oh, really? Stay present. And the planet moon. Look at this. You can't make it up. So we have, hi Stella, how you doing, beautiful? We have the moon. So what's the moon? Emotions, family, children, tribe, intellect. We're entering into an air energy, so we have to get used to using our intellect, but there can be a lot of things changing on the internet, you know, and really decipher at the moment, I would say between now and March, January, February, March, April, May, until May. Be very careful and filter what you look at. Be in awareness of how you emotionally feel, because from a spiritual, holistic point of view, if your aura's down and you're looking at social media too much and it's triggering you, that can be the news. It's a little bit like they say with an air hostess. Okay, if the plane's going down, what do they tell you to do? Hi, Kerry. How you doing, Dale? You look after you first, then you can help other people. So be very selective about how you physically deal with those circumstances. Be aware of how much you can cope with. So we have the moon energy. The ruin cast also for the joint connection relates to this. So I do feel there's joint things happening on either sides. There's emotional energy. Both of you could be pretty emotional at the moment. Moon and earth. Obstacles and hindrances. And I was really picking that with Divine Masculine. So members, you guys will be getting week 4 coming through by the weekend, which is tomorrow or the next day. When you get it, it really does make reference of that. Wait till you see the Divine Masculines read. For those of you, you will get it closer to that 4th week. Otherwise, you can jump through and get it a week early. Okay, status. Frustration, fracturation of plans, obstacles, and post-rest. Oh, don't we all feel like that, like we're hitting a wall? Stillness, inner stillness, concentration, appreciation of the present, acceptance and surrender. And yeah, I feel that. Okay, egomania and blindness, if it's in reverse. And you can't tell. So it's a bit of both, right? We're going to get to a point where, but on the phone call, hi, Lois. You could be getting some information coming through. They may, it may be feeling as though there are things individually in your life popping off and you're going, heck, between my twin flame path, my ascension, I've got crap going on with my family. I don't know where money's coming from. My boss is driving me crazy. It could be your kids, you're going to get it everywhere. But the thing is, we have to be mindful of everyone is feeling Mars. So, breathe, know your limit. Remove yourself from toxic situations and ride the storm out. But be in self-awareness. But 100% I feel ya. So frustrating. It's like, what now? What bloody now? It's because we're reaching that 29-degree point. So let's just breathe. Try and have faith in the process and move through. When confronted with the ruin cast, it would be well to accept the probability that progress can be thought. It's going to happen for a reason, though. That's what I want you to understand. If you have reached a crossroad, or no, I wouldn't say a crossroad. If you're hitting your head against a wall and something is not moving, whatever you're having to sidetrack to deal with, it's so that road can flow a lot better. Trust it, address it. You'll get frustrated, brief, but there's a method to the madness. That's the word, method to the madness. Oh, here we go, the number 11. The number 11 represents a narrow gateway, like the eye of a needle. Don't you hate those things? Through which the self-contained individual can pass through still and fine enough. So we're being refined. The inner progress can be achieved through stillness. It refers to ice as a bridge and allows us to cross from one side to another. Reversed, it may warn of isolation and ego. And this is where I've warned you guys to do with the astrology and how it can come up in your twin flame path, your individual life, and your ascension, and what to do. Which may become self-fixation. I'm not good enough. Am I worthy enough? Maybe this is very humanistic. It's not real. Remember, we were talking about MacGyver. Was it MacGyver? Anyway, we'll get into the cards. Okay, so what am I saying? So it's frustrating. Any delays, some of you are thinking, God, how much longer? Are we there yet? Get in life. Turn it around for a second and get in life. Is it the ride or is it the destination? I think because what I do know for sure, and this was a huge revelation I had, is that if I moved away from ego, and yes, I am in union, blah, 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 but back there, where I was, what I can say is where I am today, I know I was not ready, okay? Now, in my ego, I felt like a victim. There was the runner-chaser mode going on, but those horrible things that happened to me actually made me realize what I was worth, actually made me realize I never need to chase what is truly mine. Never. But you have blocks come up. You get what I'm saying? So, and I did go through the dynamic of, but I see it in the 5D, but I can't see it in 3D because that equals that does not equal that. Why? Because I had attachment of how it needed to look, potentially because there can be a lot of codependency inside of connections in general, right? Okay, what are we moving away from? Okay, so there's something really that maybe we were going down a certain path, and I feel this is jointly. Both of you have done things that maybe you wish you never did, right? And I do feel, in a way, you're feeling that aura. Divine Masculine's looking at it, and they're saying, why the heck did I invest in this? Look, some of you know that if your twin is currently dealing with a karmic cycle, and I won't say karmic partner, because there's a few messages that has been coming through the last few months. One is a cycle. One is a family group setting. And I think that's coming up for everyone, especially with the moon coming up here. The other can be a romantic partner, right? Very karmic, right? Some have regretted not leaving earlier. Now, it's funny that it's in the past position, but for some, it feels as though they're currently dealing with it right now and they're having this questioning mind. They're looking at it and saying, how the heck did I get into this? But I'm here now. Okay, well, maybe it'll be X, Y, and Z. No, I'm not liking it regardless. So whether it's to do with divine feminine or divine masculine, I personally am not liking this cycle. I knew I should have dealt with this. Well, it's really coming up to be dealt with now. What say me? Now, I'm telling you, there's a lot of paperwork involved in this. There's a lot of red tape. You know, because you've been through certain hurdles, and that's for those of you more so in the first wave. Now, the second wave is still could be, you know, as close to union, but looking at breaking codependent patterns, dealing with things on their side of the fence. You know, it's almost like that notion of a man is not a plan. It's like, oh, I need to put a screw in the wall. Okay, am I going to wait for my divine masculine to come back, or am I going to hang that bloody picture? Oh, better get the drill out, you know. So it's the things that you directly can deal with. It's trying to not go, you know, it might irritate you, but it's going into that element of I need to address this regardless. You know, we can't, the paint's drying, the picture needs hanging, we're going to address it. I do see that there could be, like, you know, from a karmic point of view, you're looking at it. I feel that you're looking at the contract and you're saying, look, what's going on? The thing we've got to be careful of is because we did have the moon in Leo. Depending on the transits, we can be in a little bit of ego at the moment. We can be looking at it, which is not wrong. But what I'm hearing is accountability. And sorry, there's question marks to do with, hey, I wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. But remember, you guys both teach each other through the whole path. So it's not that you're ever distorted. What I do see is there is a karmic ending here. I do see there's a contract that's being assessed. I do feel as though divine feminine is looking at her purpose and her direction. No. A twin flame path, whenever you guys have a challenge, you must adhere to it. The reason why is so that you never seek outside yourself again. Yes, there are certain things where it's like, look, this is beyond my expertise. But something trivial as a drill is like, seriously, come on, divine feminines. You know you can do it. It's just a bloody drill. It's a bit of a PowerPoint. It's getting the drill piece right. It's doing things that scare us. I mean, God, aren't we scared of our twin flame path? Can we not pick a friggin' drill up? Let's just pick the friggin' drill up and drill a hole. Certain things, yes, but part of the spiritual test and getting into alignment is we actually have to, in our twin flame path, alchemize an element of masculine inside ourselves. And generally what you'd need to do is look at your chart and look for your personal Mars placement. And it will give you a little bit of a PTF of what you need to work on. So go and see the zodiac sign it's in. And that's where the trigger points come up in your romantic connections, because it's what we seek outside ourselves, but it's what's necessary inside our lives that we have to achieve in order to harmonize our full self. Do I think that there is some paperwork that divine masculine is addressing? Yes. Could this be a marriage or a contract or a physical situation? And you're looking at it going, well, you know, how long's this going to go on for? Is this person going to stay there? Is it a work contract? Is it a family related dynamic? Is it something to do with a home or a contract they've entered into? And you're physically looking at it 3D and going, well, that equals that. You know, so you could be getting into the 3D and getting up in your head and saying, well, that means they're going to be there forever. Trust me, the astrology is pretty sucky. For those of us that are codependent, it's just not going to work. So if it is a codependent pattern, it's not going to work. I think you're holding your cards close to your chest. I think somehow it's almost like some. It's funny because I said that this is what my guide said, but I do think it's joint. My guides were telling me coming into this reading, don't pull masculine, feminine, pull the joint connection. So it could be a mirroring that's going on. But I think it's more to do with divine feminine's opinion of what's playing out on their side of the fence personally, but we'll see how it goes. I kind of get this feeling that there's almost a protectiveness. This could be divine feminine feeling very protective, very wary. I also feel there could be something that you feel your counterpart is hiding from you. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but I feel it's the articulation of the grand plan. It's like, okay, where is this going to go? Where's that going to go? When's it going to happen? When are we going to communicate? And so it's almost like you are feeling watched, but at the same time, this person is almost not sharing anything with anyone. So I wouldn't personalize it too much. It's just something that they're unpacking at the moment. And I think it's breaking a pattern. I do think this is a good thing. There could be money involved in the circumstance. There also could be a feeling that divine masculine is trying to recover the cash component due to a karmic cycle. I also feel that they could be getting advice on this circumstance, but it does feel as though they're saving for a major goal. They have some plans, and they have had some really nasty karmics. I would say that there have been some very nasty karmics inside their life. So if they're coming towards you wary and they're looking at their life, depending on the age bracket they are, they very much, although they may look at their life and say, look, okay, for instance, if I was to come out of this and leave the connection at a financial level, how would I fare after? Would I be able to survive? So I think it's survival instincts, but I do feel nevertheless, it's almost like on this occasion, they're having a revelation that it's affecting their wellness. So even if in their ego, they're conditioned and it's what's morally correct, it's coming to a head. Okay, it's really coming to a head. Could they still be through the throat chakra agitated or standoffish or, don't bother me, I've got 99? Yes, but I do think it's going to ease. But I feel this pressure point had to be there. It's almost like universe is saying have to be cruel to be kind, to help us realize that we were doing it to ourselves. But I do feel there's a revelation, and I feel there's a bit of closure. There also could be a bit of conflict really in the mix of the joint connection. As I said, I don't think it's remaining. As long as you can be quite neutral, it can flow. But I do feel divine feminine could get a little bit vocal, and that's the risk here at this point in time. But I definitely see they're learning quite a large karmic lesson if there is a third party energy. What I am seeing is though there is almost, and I keep hearing this, so I've just got to say it, for some feminines, you may give your masculines an ultimatum. Generally, it's, I would say for the ascended aspect of things, I don't think it's actually deemed as an ultimatum, as a statement. It's like, okay, it doesn't mean I don't love you. I just can't do X, Y, and Z. Ultimatum can be more manipulation, but I want you to look at the mirror if that's the case. But I think for most of you, you're kind of having this revelation. It's look, in order to break the pattern, what do I have to do? I've got to make the cake correctly. I've got to make it with the correct ingredients at the right time, at the right temperature to get that mix right. And it doesn't mean it's got to be perfect. It just means you're looking at it in a very realistic term. Some of you are feeling as though there is a close. It's like, having to kind of step back, go into hermit mode so this person can reflect and, not going into chaser mode, not going into, oh, have they forgot my number? And not necessarily answering the phone right away if you're flat chat. You can get back to the person. And if they choose not to answer and you were hanging the washing out and going, oh, I'm going to drop everything, it's like, it's okay. Relax. Go do what you need to do. You can try and call the person back. And if they don't, they don't. Just accept it and go with the flow. And if they're being moody, talk lower, talk calmer and say, please don't speak to me that way. I understand and I'm hearing your frustration. They keep going, okay, I'm just going to step back because this is triggering me and I need some space. But I do feel there's some of you are going to maybe make an ultimatum. Just be careful. You can't lose your twin, but at the same time, it can make things complicated. But some of you, it's just like matter of fact. It's look, I can or I can't, and that's where I'm at. Some of you just don't get why they're acting the way they are. There's gossip coming through the grapevine. Some of you are just looking at it like, especially if this is a karmic relationship, you're like, why are you allowing that person to treat you that way? Let them sit in the cauldron. I'm telling you, let them sit. Let's pull 3 cards. Well, how they're feeling about you this bloody week, hey? We're like, this is blah, blah. Give us the juice. What's the juice? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Always. And I don't mean the connection, I mean the path. Oh, okay. Some of you, the pressure point is coming because you feel you're not walking your truth. What is that, emotions, and how I personally feel relating to this today? Oh, they want to give you more. Okay, we'll go more. I usually do not use these as a read, as a crowning energy, but we'll go there. Okay, what do we got? Yeah. I think you want to be appreciated. Look, I am showing that this is impacting your wellness. This or this, okay? A lot of stress. Mars has been there for a while. I feel you're putting your hand up and you're like, look, enough is enough. Sometimes we do need to tell each other the honest truth in a circumstance. So even though you may say to Yildiz, I've already said that, Yildiz. Eat, pray, repeat till it gets through to that person. These are my base needs. I empathize and understand what you're currently dealing with, but these are my base needs. If you don't have boundaries, it's then, I'll give you an example. Oh, God. And look, not one example really is going to be adequate because there are so many different levels you go to. It could be something simple as each time they come in, I fall down. I'm so excited and then I crash down. It's like just really having detachment with that. And, it could be that you say, well, I don't really feel stable enough for that today. It's your call, but it's going to be very individual. So walking your truth can be where that tension point is, what your needs are and what you're dealing with in 3D. It's okay to express how you feel. How they take that is up to them. Some of you are just like, I just need some space. This person's been ever so intense, or they've got something, or there's been way too much space. And you're saying, look, we're not going to do this another 6 months, FYI. We are not. Art of appreciation, right? I'm ascending. I'm looking after my wellness. I know what I can and can't do. This isn't looking so attractive. I know it's the hard truth, and I know we have to assess it. But I'm getting very tired here. I'm hearing the term sick and tired. I'm getting sick and tired. Are you going to feel pulled back? Yes, but it's usually because divine masculine has a psychological breakthrough in a revelation of, well, maybe I was on the wrong path then and I was taking too long. I think I might need to turn around and keep moving forward. So if they're in a karmic relationship, let's get a clarifier. And you're being like patient, waiting, hanging about with each other, but then they're going home to Miss Daisy. I think some of you are getting a bit tired of that. Hi, Sally. How you doing, girl? You're lucky. Earlier I was going to come live on. I look like shit. I tried to look neat. I can't say I look perfect, but I look shit. This is all fake colouring. I'm very pasty right now. Yep, this is a separation, a divorce, a leaving of a karmic cycle. This can be tribe as well. Gratitude. Okay, what is going on with gratitude? I feel, it's heart chakra. Feels like heart chakra. It's like, oh, what about me? I'm hearing 2's company, 3's a crowd. Is your deck clear? I've been waiting. I've been patient. I empathize and understand. Hey, Becca. Yeah, and you're kind of like, yeah. I'm just hearing 2's company, 3's a crowd. Now, does it have to be a romantic partner? No. Can be family. Yes, Libras have health aspects. We're like dying, exhausted. Well, I think when we had the health transits, I ended up getting Ross River. I'm like, beauty. Then it was something else and something else and something else. I was like, oh, shit. And it's still here till 2025, but it can mean that we can actually care for our health better, find breakthroughs, but we will have to look after ourselves. So look after yourself. I love this. Dawn, it's probably because you're in the house. These songs. Okay, so I'm getting divine feminine, almost looking at them shocked, like, how do you see me? I beg your pardon. I don't know. I think divine masculine's going to say something to divine feminine and it's going to go the wrong way. This is for those of you in communication. Some of you are going to deal with it in a very healthy way. Others of you may get to a point you could just like lose your cool. Yeah, because the strength card, unhealthy boundaries, somebody may be, presuming something. And I feel it's like you're pulling the pin. You're a dog. You know? Yeah. I don't need a man to make it happen. Okay, what else? There was a couple of songs that were coming through. They've kind of tuned out of that one over there. I'm getting really old songs. I mean, back to the 70s and 80s. Oh, well, probably because Pluto's going back even further than that. We're looking at over 20 years here. I'm hearing Who Let the Dogs Out, but that's because the karmic cycle can bring a lot of people in your life out. Some good, some bad. So just watch it. Moving forward. Okay. You like, if it's that great, stay there. Okay, I'm going that way. If it's that great, stay there. Cool. I'm having a happy life. You want to come? No? Sweet. Look at this. You want to hang out with the karmic? You want to keep doing that? You're like, I believe in me. I think they're going to believe you on this occasion. This is also, I'm noticing the 4 and the moon, the crowning moon. Some of you, your family is driving you batshit crazy. Could be your kids as well. Kids are definitely going to play out. Why? Because Mars is in Gemini at the moment, so it can be that like, my sister works at daycare, it can be they're biting each other or screaming. They're just going to be aggro and back chatty. And then Mars moves into Cancer, it probably won't be any better. But this can be mother. This can be, look, it's like you're trying to make your own life. Now, those of you that have children, for instance, this can feel as though you're entering into a new place of self. It's like, okay, regardless of my obligations, yes, I know that. Where am I fitting my own needs into my life? And it's that. I can't necessarily say there's a perfect, but there's a way that you're kind of feeling, look, I'm having a wake-up call here. People are being needy on me. A lot of you are further ahead. You're going to know whether to help or whether to not, how much fuel you got left in your tank and what you can and can't give. But I definitely feel there's some BS going on surrounding family at the moment. I'm a born again, but yeah, only Australians can really say that, Sally. We kind of get that analogy. Like I said, at the beginning of the read, I did say sexual wounds, okay? So, become comfortable with who you are. Become comfortable with the base chakra and the sacral chakra. And I think we may need to drop shame. There could be shame to do with things that we're currently dealing with in our life, be it it's economical or it's physical. Oh, I'm, single and other people aren't. It's embracing those things, but looking that there's good and bad on both sides. Do you get what I'm saying? Grandkids are being absolutely... Don't you love it? Giggle. Children are a blessing. And look, they are, but when you get the older age, it's not personal. Don't take anything we say as personal, because every human being is different, and we can have angels wearing sheep's clothing, right? Not everyone is the same. We've had miniatures that can be serial killers. So just don't look. And that's one thing we need to get in this modern age, is that just because something looks angelic, it doesn't necessarily mean it is. There can be some really evil energies, and they can come in any package, man, woman, child, teenager, any package. So don't cliche and compartmentalize. I think that was really key what I went through from probably 2012 onwards, and definitely in 2020 we had some revelations. I just did a Reiki healing a few weeks ago. Yeah, well, it's really come up, and it's there, to do with the base chakra, our lineage. The shadow sign of Capricorn is Cancer, which is the woman, the divine feminine. Reaching the 11th, you want to get those energies in order. What do I see? I do see that, look, some gossip can be coming through. I do see you're going to have a light bulb moment and breakthrough, but I do feel confidence is going to exude through you. At the moment, I do feel a lot of you are just trying to bide your time and bite your tongue. But I think the longer things go, you're either going to become very aggressive or just very detached and sluggish and just go, I really couldn't care less. It's temporary. It's an energy that's transitioning through. I do feel divine masculine is embodying it, especially coming to the end of the month. We're moving into 10th season. Don't put too much expectations on yourself right now, nor the connection. What I can see is there can be a sudden change and a shift. And I do think it can drop at a drop of a hat very quickly, especially if you're in detachment and grounded and just really keeping it neutral. I think you're going to have a better ride. Some of them could turn up at your doorstep. I will say that because I'm seeing them turning up at your doorstep. There also could be a conversation to do with where you're going to be for some of you, but some of you are actually biting the bullet and you're actually having a conversation about something very hard, something that you're aware of. So be ready for that. Okay, I'll read the chat and we will get into the super chat. Whoever wishes a super chat. I'll see if as I'm picking them up, if I see anything else. Do I feel this person's keen? Yes, but I think that there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding to do with the acceptable time. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but that's what I'm hearing. Acceptable time limits with things. It's like, could be that you've had patience for too long. You haven't vocalized how you're feeling. I feel sorry for Geminis. I feel sorry for Virgos. Or anywhere we have Gemini and Virgo at the moment, because the patient threshold, it can be going from too passive to aggressive. So just try and keep the, scales going. A bit hard, but it should start easing up soon. But in the meantime, it's frustrating. What I do see is a pending conversation. I feel it's coming from Divine Feminine's mouth. I don't feel it's coming from masculines. I feel they will actually respond. But I feel that you're kind of pulling the toenail out to address it. I wonder if this will fit. I've got so much bloody hair. I'll do an Amy Winehouse, trying to go to rehab. Oof, this weather is really irritating me too. Yeah. Well, because it's the communication, we've got three planets in kind of a Mercury energy, and it's just like Mercury has just entered, I believe on Instagram I put Aquarius. Again, it's all the Saturnian stuff, and it's Pluto's moving there. So it's like, oh, hey, giggle. He doesn't have my new address and I have him blocked. I want to unblock, but I know. Don't be scared of the karmic love. Face it head on. Just unblock. Just make a statement. I'm not your problem. If your karmic messages me, I'm blocking the bitch. There's a way of doing it. It's like, because the more we run, it's like confront those things, but don't be scared of those people. They actually have less power than you think. Wait till you hear next week's read. It breaks it down inside the karmic update. Otherwise, you can get it pre-released this weekend in the members. Yes, I know. I've got 2 super chats. Just did Reiki a few weeks ago. It's probably in good timing as well. Who else has had the pop-offs of the chakra? You're pulling the pin on the job. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that, probably because of the karmic close with Capricorn. We are going to see us really getting real. It's like, is this feasible? Is it sustainable? Right, we're going to deal with it. Because Uranus and Taurus was making it difficult for us to do that. It's direct. The first 2 X's I mentioned, there was going to be issues. We still have a window of that at the moment. So, yeah, especially around that on the 11th, it still could come back up again. Money, value. But it will pass. We just have to ride it through. Yes, sent it through PayPal. Thanks, Star. Let's see what Kerry is dealing with. Oh, somebody from the past is coming back. There's a conversation happening. Okay. Now, I feel you are looking at this very 3D. It worked. I know, right? What's going on? 1 minute technology does work for Libra. The next minute it doesn't. Shit. Don't you have Virgo in your chart as well, Sally? I can't remember now. It's been a while, girl. We haven't talked. Okay, so Kerry, what I'm saying is there is a potential. There is a potential that you could be looking at life, and you're trying to have the courage. It's like you're a bit worn out. You're feeling a little bit like, oh, can I keep going? Nah, I'm okay. I can do this. Mars is really going to mess with you a bit, okay? And it has been since August. So I want you to just be really gentle on yourself. Be really practical and honest and go, look, I'm having my good days. I'm having my bad. I do think it's going to pass. You're still addressing things you need to, as well as psychological situations in opinions that you may embody. But it's almost like you feel you're leaving a soldier behind, even though that's not true. It's learn to be okay with doing things. So it's like, okay, I'm choosing to do X, Y, and Z. I'm enjoying a new job. Okay, it goes pear-shaped sweet. I'll do something else. It's like being present, but also not getting scared that if you're making a physical decision to do something, that it means you're leaving somebody behind. And also, just because you see something in a certain fashion on social media, it doesn't mean to say everything's hunky-dory. Like I said, wait till you hear the karmic read. It hopefully unpacks karmic cycles. It unpacks, why these cycles generally don't work. The only way they tend to get kind of extended is when we have an energy involvement in it and they fall back on us to cope with the connection. That's where we have to pull the pin on that dynamic so that they're in that heavy grind in it and they see exactly what it is and it doesn't last as long. So what I see is you're trying to have the courage to move forward. You're thinking about this person in the past. Don't necessarily feel that, that person has power over them. It's going to shift. Not everything is hunky-dory as you think. All that glistens isn't gold, and we have these revelations later. They're wanting to talk to you, but they're like, okay, how do I get this off my chest? I do feel some of it is manipulation. Look. Some of it's manipulation. It's almost like they've trying to trigger you maybe through social media. Oh, cool. I'll see you then. Sorry, I'm channeling away. Yeah, there seems to be. You're trying to get into the happy place, but you're just saying, you'll get, like I said, I've told you this before. You're looking at it like they're happy, it's never going to be. If that's what gets you to actually be in detachment, that's why it's coming through. If you can physically be in detachment and say, hey, that's what we're saying maybe on social media, that's what they're currently doing right now. Where am I investing in other people but not in myself? Where can I directly invest in myself and not, hide behind a situation, have the courage to move forward, which I feel you're achieving. Thus, it's going to come through in this person's energy also because we match energy. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, no. I feel you could have some happy events that are coming up. This is social gatherings. I also feel pay, like a big lump sum coming towards you. I feel money's on the recovery for you. I'm also seeing a house. But I feel you're just being really realistic. So if this is the reason why it had to happen, is for you to look at this new chapter with courage and confidence and know that everything happens for a reason. It could very well be that the new foundation you're setting up is for the future with this person, but you don't know that. Okay? And be open. Don't be scared of people around you. You are always protected. Because there seems to be a wariness that you are coming through with intuitively with particular individuals in your life. Giggle, Char, and Sally. Thanks, Giggle. I still feel, Kerry, that person's wanting to talk to you. So I would say it's actually in the mix already. On the, hush-hush, it could be that I actually feel they're going to, on the hush-hush, they want to say something to you. This could be a text message. This could be an apology. But I don't think you're going to be angry. I don't think they're going to be disrespectful to you, but I do feel that they're going to communicate with you and it's coming. It is coming very soon. Giggle. Oh my goodness. Your songs are so depressing at the moment, lady. I'm going to have to do an energy. I'm going to do some energy work on you remotely, Giggle. Okay. Two things. A, the songs that come through, I do think are your twins' energy. So I think they're a bit depressed. I'm picking that, like, they know what they need to do, but at the same time, it's almost like they're mad at themselves with this person. Okay. That fucking song keeps coming up. Hey, slow it down. It's Adam Lambert, the Pink song. Well, probably something is going to happen. I'm going to look at their astrology actually because they keep bloody popping up. Maybe my guides want me to look at their astrology. So Pink and Adam Lambert, both. Well, it was her song. He sung it. That song does have some reference, but I do feel this is what the person's feeling. It feels as though that, you know, in one breath, they totally get what you're saying. In the other, they're like, I'm a bloody hypocrite. Does that make sense? They're like, oh, I should have come to terms with this now. I should have moved forward. You know, why do I keep doing this? So it does particularly feel that they're cross at themselves. You know, you're probably wondering, are they single? I don't necessarily feel you're thinking that. You're like, you feel they are. So you're like, so what's the issue? Deal with this now so we can move this ship forward. Yeah, you can't see. This is where I always say, stop thinking that if the person's with a karmic, that it's a blockage, because then what happens is if you can't realize that these people actually have choices and they're the problem. Okay. In our lives, always, we are the problem. A person never has energy over us. For years, the karmics used to feel I had so much power, which I think is absolute stupidity. Nobody has power over anyone. You can have spiritual connection psychically, but when you think about it, if that was the case, I would have been in union years ago. You know? No, nobody has power over anyone. My twin is the most stubborn MF, I will tell you. And I'm privy enough to know him very well. But he will never do anything anyone tells him unless he feels it's relevant to him, which is true. All right. So in this instant with your twin, nobody can manipulate him doing anything he doesn't want to do. He's always going to go at his pace. He feels his body, his energy through his ascension path is safe. The more safe he can feel in it, the quicker it will flow. The more you realize, be it they're with somebody or be it they're not, they are the spiritual blockage. It is going to be a change for the better. It is a good investment going at this pace, right? But it is changing. It's slow, but it's steady. They're getting what you're saying. They feel silly. They don't want anyone else but you. They really don't. Do they freak out and like they would literally hate their own head? It's kind of a weird analogy, but this is what my guides are telling me. They would go insane if you were with somebody else because both of you have been through trials and tribulations. Both of you have either been in a relationship and then out of one and then single and then the other one was in one. And they're making reference to it would drive them batshit crazy. They acknowledge that. So, do they get superstitious and spy on you? Do they pop up on, you know, apps and want to talk to you? Yes, they are very tired. But it's in their heads quite a bit. They're thinking of you. Both of you, as you do get triggered, you're tuning into each other. But the intent is that going through this, they're realizing they do want this and they do want to balance. God, they're mad at themselves. They're very, very mad at themselves. I think it's swapped. You know where you were a few weeks ago? Now it's them. So all the things you were feeling a few weeks ago, now it's their turn. And they're going, oh, God, it's penny landing moment. Yeah. They don't love the energy anymore. They're like, no, they're glad it's gone. They're glad. What am I saying here? I don't think they're that tuned into their job as they feel. I don't. Okay, no, this is what they're saying. They're thinking about it because they actually want to ask you to come with them, but they don't want to be presumptuous and they don't want to impact you in some shape or form. This is, I think, what their blockage is. I'm telling you, I told my twin off for this the other day. Stop thinking for divine feminines. We have our own mind, but at that point, that's where they were, right? In a way, you'll understand more the context of this as you do see the weekly update for week 4. I get this vibe that in one way their career is a destiny and something they're supposed to be investing in. But they see you as the full package and someone they want with them. But they do feel, because of maybe dad energy, that they don't want to take you away from that cycle. There's something in that. There's a bit of presumptuous energy there. It could be maybe something that comes up. They're thinking about it at the moment, so they're trying to problem solve. They're like, if anything, it was like they were trying to free you so you could achieve and do the things that you needed to do in tribe. But at the same time, they're like, well, I wouldn't mind you here, but hey, I've got all this going on. You've got all that going on. Are we going to be able to merge? So I think that's the psychological blockage. Yeah. Caring for dad, now mum. It's swapped. So they're still looking at it from the same perspective, but it's a different situation. So they're thinking about it. They're like, oh, I still think they're going to discuss things with you, but they may actually decide that they don't want to do the job. They're in two minds at the moment, but they're trying to work out how they can actually have a successful, more permanent, more sustainable romantic connection with you without the hindrance of proximity. Does that make sense? I hope that helps, Giggle. Okay, who in the house here is having issues with their ovaries? Who is having painful ovaries? Your energy is coming through. Well, we do that as humans, don't we? Yes. Okay, who do we have next? Cha-Cha. Oh. And you had your chakras done. You need to anchor. What situation are you having with your family, my love? Probably going to have a purge coming up in the next few days. There's something to do with base. Very bad cycles at the moment. Yeah, it feels like there's a blockage that's being released. I have digestive personal problems. Yeah, no shit. Okay, Cha-Cha, how are we doing, girl? Yes, I'm picking up on your energy anyway. Yeah. Only problem is generally a week later, you're purging like no tomorrow. What about me? Telling you, sometimes they should actually do the particular chakra, but definitely the third eye, because it's beliefs as well. It's egoic beliefs, which cause blockages. What you doing, Cha? My daughter, I'm menopausal. I think my ovaries are gone walkabout. Yeah, no shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I just think us women get ripped off, quite frankly. I mean, considering they're going to turn bloody test tubes into females, I mean, which is going to be like, well, what are we all going to start growing hair on our chin and be men? Have fun with the test tube, buddy. What was Dolly the Lamb? That was bloody, we're going to have lots of those around soon, and it is in the astrology, actually. Lord. Okay. Well, like I said, it was in the astrology for the base, sacral, and solar. That was for divine feminine anyway. So, yes. Okay. Oh, Cha, are you going to get some gossip? Yeah. Cha, are you in the house? Yeah, you are. Okay, what is this bloody gossip? Are you looking at social media? Hi, Ben. There's gossip coming through. Just dreams are coming in. Are they giving you anxiousness? Because it feels a bit anxious. It feels whatever this is. It's causing agitation, flightiness, triggers, it's coming through. But it's like you're battling it on the ethers. You're like, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, that was a nice dream. Can we stay here? I don't know why, but your guides are still making reference to you making a statement. And only you can answer this. It's grueling. You know those moments you look at your path and you say to yourself, no, you hurt me, so it's your job to come and communicate with me. I don't know, man. Your guides are being so bloody adamant lately. And, it has been with you, Char. It does feel as though, I don't know whether it's going to be manifested through how this is going to play out. But I do feel it will be you that communicates, you that bumps into the person. You're trying to have the courage to move forward, but at the same time, you're sort of like, you're like, I do want a relationship, but I don't. I'm going to move forward. It's not that I actually want anyone else, but at the same time, I don't want to be alone forever. But I also feel that you're worried you're going to bump into them and you don't know how you will react. This also could be coming through in your dream state that you feel you're going to hear something and you're like, I hope it's not worse than what I've already heard in my life. Give me some good news. Give me some good news. Man. It's like you're trying to be very realistic. You're trying to be very logical, which Mars is probably not going to help that. I'm just being honest. With the transits for you, it's going to be difficult. You could be getting frustrated at times and feeling, look, I've got to go straight and narrow. I do feel you've gone back down the rabbit hole of questioning if they loved you. Silly. Some reference to an apology. Yeah, you want closure. You want closure to it. Don't you love that, twin flame path? No closure. Adios. I'll see you soon and I'll act like it was all normal. No wonder we cast comparisons of narcissism tendencies, And you're like, what? What? Do you know what happened to me last summer? Yeah, there's a bit of that going on. You've been down many rabbit holes. I mean, we could have been, yeah. You got to be careful because that rabbit hole actually co-creates and manifests. Unfortunately, we tend to manifest more so on the lower octane than the higher. The higher, you actually realize the universe is always going to give you everything you need. On the lower, we are freaking the heck out and we're manifesting the shit. So what's the key? To understanding that you're worthy, to understanding that the laws of attraction brings things to you. It brings things to you. Is this person regretful? Bloody oath. How do they get that way? Being in a karmic relationship. You're going to hear something. You're either going to bump into them. You're a dog. I'm going to have to send you some songs. Alice, who the hell, Okay, there is a partnership here. What I do see you guys saying is, look, if I move forward, the shoe's going to be on the other foot then you'll regret it. Then it might be too late. But what I do see is I still see either a text message is going to fly through. B, if you bump into them, I feel you're worried what you're going to say, how you're going to react. You may actually really surprise yourself. You may act very different to what you think. But I think because of those things, if that has been something that's been coming up quite a bit, I tune out of it because it's actually blocking the person coming towards you. Especially when we have concerns. It's like we were bad girls, so we've got to hide subconsciously. Don't go into that. Just be really open, B. It is what it is. I get this. They're asking you to go to the beach. They're asking you to smell the fresh air and to connect with the sand. It's going to detox you. It's going to protect you psychically. But I do feel you are seasons. Oh, what are they call it? It's sort of like the crossover of seasons. This is a new chapter. And I do see this person coming towards you. So it could even be that you hear through the grapevine that this person's no longer in a karmic relationship. I do feel they're single. I don't know. I've got that for a while. I have got for a while. Don't avoid going to places where you think you will bump into them because they're making reference to that. Don't be ashamed. You're not. You shouldn't be. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And don't hide, woman. But psychically, they're going to come through to you. What I am seeing is a potential bump into this person. The thing is, you're worried how you're going to react. That's what my guides are telling me. Sally, protect me. All Sally's in the house. I'm not safe now. She's going to say some cheeky things to me. Sally. You know, it's not bad boys, it's bad girls. I mean, I literally have said, if Chad, Dawn, Giggle, Sally, so many of us, if we had to go to an evening out, we would be escorted out the door, or they would run out because they'd be petrified. They'd be like, oh, these bitches. I gotta get away from these crazy women. So it's not who let the dogs out, it's like who let the feminines out. So anyway. Let's see what's coming through for you. Did you have a particular question? I would probably throw a coconut at his face. Yeah. What about the karmic? If you bumped into the karmic, we'd have too much fun. Giggle, would we be peeling her off the floor? I reckon we would be, eh? And then she'd start crying. And we go, it's okay, sister. Because she'd be so drunk. Okay, what's this? Oh, what have you been doing, girl? You naughty girl. Okay, have you been playing with the karmic here? Have you been messing with this person's head? Something's come up. You're messing with their head somehow. Okay, you've been messing with them. I can see it here in the cards. You've been head casing this karmic. You've been having way too much fun here, young lady. It's coming up. No. Is that no or no? Is that no, I haven't? Sally, I don't know. There is a relationship here, okay? The crazy thing is, as much as many Libras won't believe in Aries, you guys have reconciliations and change in status coming up, and a lot of you are going, it's not happening. The transit's coming. Get ready. The transit's coming. Get ready. I've told you. I've warned you. It's coming. Changes in jobs. Changes in your body image. Changes in your vibe. But you've definitely got contracts there. This could be a job. It could be I'm feeling a partnership. But I'm definitely feeling a transition that's like you just want it all. You know, it's, what's that movie? It's like the First Wives Club. Don't get mad, baby, get everything. That's what it's feeling. You're like, nut Libras for getting everything. It's like, we're going to go out there and we're going to get it all. Don't know how. We'll kill ourselves doing it if we have to, but we're going to work for it. You know, Britney Spears, you want a hot body? You better work, bitch. So, you're trying to put all this, you're like, look, if this ship keeps sinking, I'm going to have to move on some circumstances. Moving on up. Yeah, it's you're moving up. You feel you need to bite it in the butt and change things. But this is good. This is, I'm not going to be an own karmic. I'm not going to be a karmic. But I do feel somehow you're messing with this karmic. How? God knows. Okay. Could it be coming through the ethers with your confidence levels, with your comfortableness of yourself? Yes. The other thing I can say is you want a lot more than what you have. And darn on it, you paved off with what you freaking got right about now. You're like, you know what? I want fine living, fine dining, hot body, great friendship groups, fun. I want some fun. I want love. You're ready for it all. And there is this frequency of, vivaciousness that will come through in the next few months. But I do feel when it does come to this karmic is actually channeling you. And because you're ascending, they're actually picking up on it, Sally, and they're shitting themselves. Moving on up. You want a hot body? You better work, bitch. Look at the karmic. She's feeling your energy. I don't know if she's stalking you on social media and you're like, cheese. That's how it's coming through. It feels comical. It feels naughty. Austin Powers. Oh, God, yeah. Mini me. No, it's hilarious. Sally, you kill me here. Honestly, you crack me up. They are watching you. Masculine's quiet. Karmic is a little bit jealous. She might want to communicate with you. Just don't bite. Don't bite. Just smile. I'm not even there, and apparently I'm still your problem. Apparently. I didn't say I was an angel, Sally. I got Scorpio and Libra. I'm just not stupid. I do stuff up. I just do it once. That's all. Like, ooh, that hurt. Not doing that again. Okay, who we got next? Dawn. Jemmy. My psychic, her guides, honestly, they just send me songs. Oh, okay. Oh my God, is this Selwyn's song? So sick of love songs. Oh my God. Dawn. We need to, it's a little bit like a Lucky Charm. Really, I'm going to check my iron today. I've been flat as a doornail, Ben. It's like climbing up like a snail. So once I have my Wagyu beef burger, because I'm predominantly vegan, I don't really like meat, I'll feel great. Then I'll be pinging like I'm ADHD, I'll be great. But yeah, I've got to get my Wagyu beef in. So transits don't help, and you add an iron deficiency on that, and it just sucks. They've been sending them all week, no joke. But it's like, is that why your guides are saying to me, so sick of love songs, blah, 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 blah? Is that what you're saying to your guides? It's like, clappity clap, 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 clap. Yeah, but bodies, it depends on the body, Dale. So even though certain meat, I do eat meat. I was, back when I started having my awakening, I got checked and nothing came up. And it was the same principle. And then other times when I was eating kale and mushrooms and liver. Some people's body doesn't absorb it. It doesn't matter what they do. It can be there, but it just goes straight through them. And I'm just happen to be one of those stupid people. Gobble, gobble. Only for the right one, silly. You know that. I love it when people ask you, do you gobble? For the right person, maybe. Maybe only Australians will understand that. Because apparently we're prudish. Yeah, I have it with orange. It don't make any difference, sweet. It's okay. I've been down the rabbit hole of nursing and a dietitian, and I have all those polarities. It doesn't work. When it gets this bad, just got to infuse. So away we go. Wagyu beef. 2 days later, fabtabulous. Okay, so we have dawns. Okay, number one, your guides are coming through and they're like, you have a lot to do. You got a lot to do. You know, you're actually realizing the world is your oyster, and maybe the love energy. Look, it could be bee totem coming through. It could be heart chakra activation. You're going to go from one vibration to another. So in one way, you know, you're looking at your twin and you're like, man, I've got bloody options here. Are you going to hurry up? I'm not going to be stupid though. I'm not going to move towards it. But you're kind of realizing, you know, you're like, I've got this fantasy. I have this belief to do with it. But you also have emotions of the past, right? There is a cycle wrapping up, right? And you, in your mind, you're like, I don't know where this person's behavior is. I don't even know how they feel. Is this the end of the line for me? Or am I going to get, you know, my happy outcome, my happiness, my bliss, my happy ending? What is my happy ending here? Their attitude has changed since they've been at work, and I feel you're focusing on that too. But it's not the whole cup. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's not that we don't want to go towards our goals and we don't want to do things, but we also have this heart-centered energy with an individual, and we see the full matter of what it can be, but we're also watching a karmic cycle play out, and it doesn't quite vibe. You want them to have the courage to be transparent with you, right? You're like, oh God, your guides are so naughty today, Dawn. So apologies, okay? Her guides are just saying you want them to have the balls. Grab your kahunas, come and have a chat with me. You know, this can be even to the point where he just comes out and blurts it out. You just want transparency. You just hurry up and say it already. You have feelings for me. You are angry because you don't want things to change, but you do want me. All right? Yeah. So you're like, man up. Who's the man here, me or you? Shit. You just feel if it keeps going the way it is, you're going to outgrow the way it is, which you actually technically have. You're getting fed up of the status quo, which is a healthy thing. It's like, don't fight with me. Don't project at me. Yes, I enjoy your company. No, I don't really want to hang out with you, karmic. I'm happy for you, but I don't really, and I think you're faking it. But at the same time, you just think he's batshit crazy. You're like, if it's that bad, why are you still bloody there? You're losing your cool with the victim consciousness and the loosely can say the falsity of statements. So it can be, this is really good, they're perfect. I mean, nobody's bloody perfect. Let's just be honest. Nobody's perfect. There's something that this could have already happened. Something that's happened that's offended you. You haven't said anything to do with it. I don't think they know, doll. Something's happened and you've kept it on your chest. You got to be careful because it could. I don't think it's bad that it comes out, but I do think there is a potential conversation because you're losing a shit with this person. It's like you're actually offending me. You're actually attacking me. I'm going to give you some truth serum. It shouldn't need to get to boiling point, but it appears to be it's getting to boiling point. And I hear tears. I hear self-expression. I don't think they know they're doing it, but I think that you've just extended that level of threshold. But remember, you're filling a cup. You're not necessarily filling it with the good things. It's being filled with shit. Do you get what I'm saying? So that inevitably is going to have the same outcome energetically in sputum. So to calm it down, to fill the cup, to be able to say, hey, I am entitled to be treated nicely. This hurts my feelings when you say X, Y, and Z. Do we need to repeat ourselves 9 times out of 10? Yes. But once they get and you get, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. You're going to talk to me that way? Sweet, we're not talking. I don't think you want to because you feel some things are inappropriate to discuss, but no, they're not. There's a way you can discuss things without it being, by the way, I'm trying to ruin your life. You're doing you, but guess what? We had an investment at one point. You're now over there. This is what I need in my life. Doesn't mean you can give it. You're currently MIA with this individual, but that's the way I'm going. That's how I feel. And that's my problem. But, you know, then if they choose to do something with it, that's up to them. You're trying to go, can't this person read my mind? No, because they're feeling the same way, love. They want to hear it from you. They want to hear it from you. It's like I'm seeing like the white flag. It can be done in a tactical way, but I just feel at the moment you don't feel quite ready to do it, but it could just come out. But I feel anxiousness. I feel like you do get excited when you see them, but then it's like the same. I think you've got to pick your day. And I do feel a conversation playing out. I'm going to pull a chakra card, but I feel an overdue conversation. Yeah, you're going to trust your guides. You're going to have faith in yourself. You're going to trust your guides. Recover, recoup, and pick a day. Advice, please. One came out and I went back in. There. They're making reference to you're scared what you're going to hear, and that's what the block is. But both of you are questioning the same question. Both of you have been waiting for the other to say something, and somebody's got to pull the pin. So it just depends on who's doing it. Yeah. Both of you want to see each other. But again, it's almost like the person's getting frustrated because they were hoping you were going to say something and you were hoping they were going to say something. But it's almost like somebody needs to say something. Okay? Because perspectives, whatever you need to say. You know, if we get it to the point where we're screaming and frustrated and it's, you're not respecting me, you're not this and that, that's something you need to say to them. I have feelings for you. They're unfinished. Whatever that is. There is a pending conversation here, but both of you, it's like Russian roulette. You know, who's going first? Who's saying something? That's what my guides are showing me. You physically looking at it a little bit too black and white. It's like, well, they're in a karmic relationship, therefore it can't be. Well, that is obvious. But at the same time, it's a different circumstance in these paths. It's not to say, hey, let's go and have an affair. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there is an energy frequency between the both of you. There's a lot of healing that comes through. Not all twin flames have to be romantic partners, but I can honestly say I haven't seen one that isn't. So feel free to tell me if you've had a non-romantic twin flame. I have not seen one. It's not to say they don't exist. I would never presume, but I haven't seen one. I see a conversation, Dawn, but inevitably I feel it could end up being blah. You know, that's how it's coming through. Hey, Becca, how are you, my love? Where do I put this? Heart chakra, eh? Yeah, just let it out. Do we have a Becca in the house? There we go. How you been, Ben, anyway? Have you been looking after yourself? How's your channel going? Thanks, Giggle. Okay, the first thing you had is heart chakra. Was it you who I was picking up on with the ovaries? I was like, whoa. You have been. I'll have to have a chat to you soon, Ben. Or have a chin wag. Probably. Yeah. Did you have Reiki? Were you the one that said you had Reiki this week for the base chakra or no? And sacral chakra? I can't remember. Okay, there's, yeah. Had an ultrasound a few weeks ago and then Reiki. Look to the spiritual energy. Definitely. It'll be zodiac related. And I'm never outruling the things that you've done, right? I'm not saying that. But I do feel from the third eye, there's healing happening relating to a child. If you have a child, if there was a loved one that passed over, or it could be your childhood. But it's sort of like, I'm hearing the term acceptance. It's going to pass, but it feels it's in here. Even though it's coming down here, it's in here. Something of a belief that's getting cleared out. I feel love all around you. You had a miscarriage with twins. Yeah, that's why. Especially because we have Mercury. We had Mercury in Capricorn and Pluto's reaching the 29-degree point. All these shadow energies to do with our wounds are coming up. And obviously, if they're coming up in our charts, they're going to come up in our body. And so when we heal them and face them, plus Neptune and Pisces and Sagittarius, not Sagittarius, Saturn and Pisces and Neptune, the spirit realm is going to be here quite heavily, and third eye activations are going to be here. So a lot of people are going to be more psychic. So, you know, it's sort of like healing because we feel almost that it was taken from us or inadequacies, you know, the swing of those things. But it's also that that person is with you. I don't know why they're making reference to a second chance. I don't know what that's about. But they're definitely around you, but they want you to heal. But it's also from an intimate wound of years ago. They're making reference to that. And by addressing that spiritually, it's going to help balance it so you can move forward. Yeah. Yeah, I think I had 3 miscarriages with twin. One with my first husband. And then I fell pregnant. I thought I fell pregnant again. And then I was like, yeah, I've got to leave this. It's karmic. Do you know, it's really funny because your cards are telling a different story, but there's a lot of love around you. I feel your love interest is on their way. Yeah, it's very calm. It's very, very calm. They're sending heart chakra energy to you. I feel it's almost like feathering. How do I explain it? Like from the astro world, it's like they're almost telling you that you're unconditionally loved, that you're unconditionally worthy. To, you know, if that was coming up in truth, they're right up your girl, I'm telling you. Your energy's good, doll. Like, although you might not feel fantastic, I feel as though this person really appreciates you, but they feel really close. Any challenges you've been having, it feels like they're walking with you. But I feel they're really close. Are you in communication with this person? Because that's how close it feels. It feels like movement, communication, change. You might have been thinking about them and wishing they were there through hard times. And I feel as though because that came through and they were feeling your emotions, they're actually now coming in. I have a picture with wings around us. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like wings. Like, I think, what's that famous painting? And I think it's called The Lovers. And it's almost like wings. They've wrapped the blanket around of nurturing and love. That's what I was saying. Yeah, so thinking of you. They're really, really thinking about you at the moment. There's a lot of love. Yes, it can be to do with children. I see this through the yellow on the card. Co-creativity. Again, moonlight goddess. Like, you are worthy with or without. You are no less. Look at, again, the wings, the wings, the wings. They're guiding you. They're guiding you. Don't feel stuck. You're right in the right place at the right time. Don't get in your head about this. Don't second guess it. Yeah, get into your Zen space because they're saying it's right there. You're apprehensive, but I'm telling you, it's almost like you are spirit. There's a male on the other side. They're popping in now. There's a male energy that has transcended over. It feels it does feel like an older energy. I feel you'll be better in time. That's all they're making reference to. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do. Look, you've got moon, you've got mother, you've got a lot to do with your healing and Chiron. Why do my hearts have circles around them? I'm not only on the astral, I feel March is important. Yeah, 100%. 100%. They're making reference to water purification. Yeah, it's like you're going through a mini clearing, a mini getting your emotions and all. Like the heart spaces, they're very strongly, very, very strong. Almost like they're screaming to get to you. Do you get what I'm saying? They're saying, no matter what, do not be defined by the 3D. Some tests are going to come, but I think you're going to move beyond them. You need to have a lot of faith in this because spiritually what I'm saying is the trigger will come from 3D, but you've already worked through it psychologically. And then as the trigger comes, you're going to look at it and go, no, I still don't believe that I'm moving forward. I believe in my truth. And I think that's when this person's actually coming in. But I feel they're very close. Very, very close. But there is a male on the other side that was coming through. So it depends on if it felt like a father energy. This is father, grandfather. But this is a man. Whoever this man is, he was coming through. Might even be on twin side, but it definitely, it's just a male. But they're around you at the moment as well. So I just thought I'd tell you, male energy around you. Definitely the wings coming through. Your guides are protecting you. I feel like he's breaking it off with the karmic. I've been doing a lot of spiritual baths, picturing me washing. Yeah, well done. So really clearing it, moving into detachment, knowing that there's no entanglement where they're imprisoned, so to speak. And the more you think that, the better it is, because it is a mindset and what we think we create. So the more you can get out of the monkey mind, there's a lot of love, and I feel you communicating via the 5D. They're really relaxed still, so I don't have a bad feeling. It feels quite positive. Quite positive. I'm struggling with getting messages from spirit. When I should not. Yeah, that was coming up in the masculines read. So, Ben, wait till you hear the masculines read. Or you'll get it in the top level at the members a week ahead of time. But I got a lot of messages then. It was very strange, the masculine energy, what they were going through. So make sure to listen to that video. It has some very interesting dynamics relating to how they're handling adversity right now. And it did talk about what you're talking about right here, right now. From more the message realm. Here's that grandparent passed away connection to me regularly. Yeah, it's really around you. They're actually making reference to they are protecting you and they're guiding. And definitely, if you need that added support, you can ask them because they're making reference to they're there. So don't be too, don't outrule calling a guide in and just being really in detachment and say, hey, take care of them. They're protecting you as well. You're a dag, silly. You'd love him if he was hairy anyway. I told him that the other day. I was like, every time I was like, have I recovered? It was like a recovering addict, right? And I go, oh, he's hairy. Oh, God, I still like him. Anyway, I guess that is unconditional. Anywho. And again, it doesn't mean we haven't loved anyone else in our life. We do. You know? It depends on the reference of how you work with your guides, man. Like I said to you before, sometimes quite synchronistically, a blockage coming through in a reading is to do with the collective regardless. It's the way we are all feeling collectively that we don't know which path to pick. We're scared we're going to fail. And that's Aries. You know, it's like, oh, I've got this on my own. I don't need help. I can achieve it. Or I need to address these things and not me. You know, Libra, Aries kind of polarities coming up. So there was for the 4th week a lot of that coming through. So in your own lives, if that is happening, it's because we channel the collective and the collective is unsure because there's infinite uncertainties at this point. You love the hairy chest, but not the face. If you had a choice between the hairy face or no twin, I can guarantee you go stuff your cum and bring your hairy face with you. You can't see the cute dimples. Believe me, those cute dimples can get them in trouble. You know? But it goes both ways. Divine Feminine's the same thing. You know? I will love you and leave you. Big conversations, I would say, coming up with the Twin Flame Collective. I do feel there's going to be a slight pause and then a forward momentum, and it's going to be very large. If there are things that are calling you to address the circumstances on your side of the fence, it is because we're moving through a karmic close. Look out for the 11th of Feb. It can be quite a karmic triggered day, and there could be something in the collective that's happening as well. Gain your bearings, be aware, clear your houses. If you need coaching, book a reading. The schedule will be filling up, especially because I'm getting March and April content done because I'm trying to kind of schedule in lots of different things and shorts. So I will see you all very soon.